Sorry to keep everyone waiting for a moment. Just got to do one thing before we get started here. Almost ready. We're almost started. All right, now we can get started. All right. Welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is Monday, May 9th, 9:38 a.m. It is quite a Monday. The good news is it's finally the week has started, and we can get started. We can see what's going to kind of happen with the market. The weekend was not beautiful, as many of you may know. I hope that you made it through Mother's Day and you had a good time. So let's check out what's going on. I mean, definitely the market's not too incredible, and the crypto market is not too incredible. Let's just cruise right along and see what kind of interesting carnage we have going on this morning. So, once again, welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is quite a Monday. Good news is the scourge of weekend is over and we can get back to hardcore trading. But the bad news is the market kind of sucks. It doesn't kind of suck; it does suck. So unless you're a shorting machine, and you're probably having a party. Anyway, BitcoinDailyView.com got more stuff for you there. Now here's the good news, or some rather interesting news. We do have a very weak Bitcoin right now, a dumping Bitcoin for sure all weekend. It's not really firming up now either. But our Bitcoin trading volume explicitly is 6.5 billion. That's massive. 3 billion is a good day these days. 6.5 billion. So we've got retail trading volume for Bitcoin explicitly is pretty darn good. And hopefully that's just not like people selling. It very well could be. But let's see how it looks. I do like that we have over 4 billion in volume on Binance, 1.15 on Coinbase. We got some seriously nice looking retail volume going on. I just have not really analyzed it to see, is this, selling or is this buying? What's down there? Okay, Bitcoin futures last 24 hours. This is a new thing. It's at 4 billion. We'll start taking a look at that from the CME group and of course backed. So CME Bitcoin futures 24-hour volume 4 billion. Bitcoin spot 6.5 billion. All right, that's a lot of volume, but what kind of volume is it? All right, looking at over here, cryptometer.io says 6.9 billion. Now it says 7 billion. It's always more of an optimist, but somewhere between 6.5 billion and 7 billion. We've got the Bitcoin trading volume. That's pretty darn good. Volume change last 24 hours up 80%. So volume is definitely picking up. Of course, you can look live activity, 1 hour trades, 4 hour trades. You can kind of see we are, could I be optimistic and say about a 50-50 buy sell ratio there? It varies, but I'm not seeing there, let's give that a very unscientific looking at the graph here for 4 hour, 1 hour and 4 hour. I am seeing in general, let's call it a just barely 50-50 split with probably a little bit more bias towards the sell side, to be honest with you. All right, now here's something I do like seeing, is looking at spot trading across the big exchanges. Across the board, we have increasing volume, except for crypto.com. I don't know why they're not playing the game. Good volume. Like seeing them over 3 billion on a good day. They're at 2.3 billion basically right now. They haven't quite reached the green yet. But in general, like Binance up 46%, FTX up 64%, Coinbase up 53%, Kraken 83%, KuCoin 28%, Gate.io 44%. These are all up. I like it. Gemini 79%. Many people use that for a fiat to a crypto gateway when they're buying Bitcoin. Anyway, this is nice to see that the big exchanges, all of them, the big boys, except for some reason Bittrex over there in Seattle, drinking too much soy milk this morning and not showing up for work, down almost 6% in volume. But anyway, for the most part, the non-left coast soy chugging exchanges are all manning up and finding their testosterone, going crazy, especially cracking up 83%. So volume is kicking up. I like seeing that. And volume is good just as far as not just the fact that it's increasing, but that it's good too. I mean, 22 billion on Binance, that's not bad. Above 15 billion is a pretty good day. Coinbase is above 3 billion, 3.2. Got nice volume. Crypto.com not quite up for business today. All the rest of the exchanges showing good volume for each one individually, and also increasing volume. I like seeing it. Looking at the volume on the 7-day graph here, we're back trending towards the positive. So let's see how it rolls. Bybit, where young traders like to go use leverage and get wrecked, up 64%, mostly probably losses. All right, so Bitcoin. Here's Bitcoin in the top 100. Bitcoin coming in at a remarkable 32,163. Looking at the top 100, all getting alt slammed. I mean, just boom, all the top 100 screwed, except for Waves for some reason, which is up 6%. There you go. Waves. Why? I don't know. But anyway, in general, top 100 and Bitcoin hammered this morning. Not looking so great. Looking at longs versus shorts today, we're at 70% long, 29% short on Binance for Bitcoin. Then for Ethereum, 66% long, 33% short for Ethereum on Binance. So in general, we do have a long bias on Bitcoin and Ethereum on Binance. So that's kind of cool. Let's see. Lately, that used to tell me a lot more. Lately, this just has not really been much of an indicator. In general, when there's been strong, historically, I found strong long or short bias for Bitcoin, especially on Binance. That did reflect the price action we were heading towards, but lately it's just been positive, even though it just keeps dumping. So right now, too much volatility, too much downside. But in general, there is some optimism on Binance where the big money is in volume for a long bias on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. U.S. indices suck ass, okay? So basically S&P 500 down 1.9, Dow Jones Industrial down 1.2 or 3 almost, NASDAQ index down 2.5 or 2.6. In general, just not looking too hot. Anybody? So yeah, U.S. indices for the most part down. Let's look a little bit closer at that as we keep rocking along. Dow Jones up top. Red candle today continues a downward trend below all important moving averages. S&P 500 index below all important moving averages. A red candle today also. It was a terrible, looking Friday for them. Now they're opening again after a Friday Darth Maul doji. Now they're just plummeting as they open. So S&P 500 not looking too great. Looking at Russell 2000 here on the bottom, it's opening pretty much crappy too, and below all important moving averages. Looking at a little bit more detail here, U.S. oil. This is U.S. oil spot. That's the one that I look at. Definitely look out below. Anybody who's working below the market right now. I imagine like a bunch of like hammers falling off of scaffolding. People are working on a building and landing on people. So anyway, it is a hard day. Look out below because seriously, it's coming. So U.S. oil spot. That's what I like to look at for oil. It is plummeting this morning. It's on the way down. Rather interesting. It opened and came down to 103 a barrel, below the 50 and 20. Well, below the 50 moving average. We'll just say that. Anyway, oil opening weak on Monday. That's got mixed blessing, right? Dollar strength index opening today with a red candle. Honestly, that tends to be better for the market at large. Now looking at the S&P 500, as you can see, Darth Maul doji on Friday. Now opening with a plummeting red candle. That is just insane. I mean, are we going to actually, it's at 4,022 right now. Oh my gosh. If you want to see investor confidence, go potty fast. Let that thing break 4,000, go below 4,000. I mean, wow, that will be an interesting day. Gird your loins. U.S. Tech 100. I like this one. I think it just gives you a little bit of insight into what's going on. My computer's kind of freezing up here, so bear with me. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, U.S. Tech 100. You can see a couple different ways, but in general, I like looking at that one. And as you can see, it's been plummeting below all important moving averages. That is U.S. Tech. It kind of gave a little bit of a push back there on the 3rd and 4th of May. It kind of tried to get running again, but basically it's plummeting this morning. Not looking too great. U.S. Tech 100. Not looking strong today at all. Below all important moving averages, like I said, weak. Gold, right now, it's fighting between a red and a green candle. Quite a wick to the upside, a little wick to the downside. Let's see what can happen. So far, ultimately, it's down from Friday's close. Let's see how it rolls. It's still above the 200 moving average on the daily. Overall, let's just see what happens. Gold may close red green, but right now it's just struggling right now with some serious wick action. So we'll see what happens. A large wick towards the upside. Oftentimes things do tend to have the longer wick in the direction that they're going. We'll see. But gold definitely not opening strong today. Silver given up completely. Silver so over. Just forget. Look at that. Silver's been plummeting for quite a long time. I love my friends that love their metals, but I'm just going to do something right here, and not to be wenchy or anything, but look at this. So if we look at, this was the 19th of April when this thing started dumping. So if we go from the 19th of April down to where it is right now, that's 15% down in 20 days. So yeah, just keep on living that dream that one day, silver is going to be whatever strange, I don't know, whatever fallacy, whatever delusion people have about it. No, it's not. It's not doing very well. Anyway, silver just plummeting. Gold kind of struggling today, but silver below all important moving averages, and it just continues to plummet. It's at $21.90. May it actually break 20 soon? Let's see what happens. I know it will bounce eventually, but right now, so far, no strength whatsoever in it bouncing. Do I have a MACD here on this one? I'm not gonna look at it that close. This is interesting. The ruble. So ruble versus USD. So basically, if you bought rubles with USD, of course, when the invasion started, well, or you might say special operations started, of course, it did plummet. V-shaped recovery, gained it all back. But the thing is, though, Friday we had a red candle. Not today, we've got a red candle. Let's see which way this goes. It's really been pumping hard. Not surprising, it's retracing a little bit, but still, ruble, versus the dollar, doing really, really phenomenally well. Here's one for you: Bitcoin daily chart. I did this fib sequence here, and I think this has got some validity. Fib, like many, some people believe in it, some people do not. I tend to think it really actually is a rather accurate machine. So if we go way back, it's a daily chart to when Bitcoin first started running back like around the 13th of March or so, and grab that as the low. Go to the high that it had back on like the 7th or so of November. I know that some people will say that this movement here invalidates the fib sequence, but I don't think so. Okay. So anyway, I think this is very, very valid. If we look at it, this fib sequence does fit very well. And so as you can see, this is the thing. We have visited the 618 golden pocket a few times, and we've stayed above it. So we have kind of wicked down to the 618, and the 618 right now, well, the 618 is at 28,697 is the top of it, and the bottom of the 618 golden pocket would be 26,611. So you can see we have wicked down to it. It has really been ever since really the volatility that we've had up and down ever since like the 14th of March or so, 2020. This 618 has really kind of held in there. Also, you can note here that we do have some support and resistance right here. This gray line here, that's not fib. That's just where I see some support and resistance. And of course, we've fallen below that. We were kind of hovering above it today. So one of the things that I'm thinking is we're either going to find support and resistance, or we've had it previously here where I kind of had this gray. I never just like to make just one line. I like to kind of I like to do it like this, kind of an area, So like in this area has been support and resistance previously, but it does not appear to really be holding up so far this morning. So we're definitely getting to the lower side of that previous support and resistance. So would not be surprised that we could get down to that 618. Now that 618, ever since March of 2020, has been valid. It's kind of well, I mean, I know we didn't hit it until ultimately around like the 4th of January, but still, looking at this whole big fib sequence, it really, really fits in. This fib sequence fits very well. It fits in with the moving averages. It's just, it really tends to fit, I think. And the tighter it fits, especially oftentimes when you pull in a good amount of time for a fib sequence, the Fibonacci sequence, I think you start to get some real, gravity, some validity. So with that said, I think this is pretty powerful. So as you can see right here, we even kind of back here on the 24th of January, we wicked down to it. We did not actually reach it, but back on like the 23rd of February, we wicked, quite a ways down. And also, if we do note here, also, you can see where the this is the .5 fib level. That's really kind of hung in there very powerfully also. So I could just, let me actually accentuate that. Actually, just see if I can grab this thing so you guys can see. I'll try to keep moving so this doesn't get repetitious or boring. So I can move this. Well, yeah, there we go. This is the .5 fib sequence. So as you can see, definitely Bitcoin's kind of stuck to that. This whole thing, and of course the 382 up here, you can see this whole sequence is really pretty sticky for the price action. I like it. So even though right now what we're looking at here is not fib, this line right here, that's just previous support and resistance, but we're not holding it. So if we don't hold it, it would not surprise me if we find ourselves going to the 618 fib level. And that would be a 29,000 bounce, basically 28,000 bounce or so, and there you go. I mean, that now if something unprecedented happened, because I know there are people who have been looking at the charts and thinking that, okay, sure, we could hit the 618 or the golden pocket. And if we bounce there, that's somewhere between 28,697 to 26,661. Okay, if we bounce there, great, that could happen. Kind of thinking, unless all of reality breaks and things really get crazy, because I'm going to mention this because people have mentioned the 18K, bounce level. And if you think about it, in this big sequence here, let's say we kept going down and bounce up to 786. That is a totally valid place to bounce. I find that I'm doing good. I find that a 786 bounce is 75%. So if we were actually to give 70, if we gave 75% back, that wouldn't be pleasant for a lot of people, but that'd be right around 17,745. And I have heard a lot of, conjecture, people doing charts, everything from, you name it. They look at it a lot of different ways, but I have seen 18K as a bounce, predicted by some. And that would actually fit here. And if we do look, you can see that we do have way back here, just some previous support and resistance, some general stickiness around November 2020 there. So I know we're looking at a lot of time here. And, crypto traders tend to look at 15-minute charts, and that's totally fine. I do that quite a lot too, for immediate price action. But I think this is a pretty valid little chart here. I'm going to copy a link to the chart image. I'm going to put this in the live chat, and I'll stick it over other places later. But just for your reference, if you want to have it, something to look at, you can print it, whatever. I printed charts. I think this may have some validity. I really do. So worst case, 29,000 bounce. That would basically 29,000 to 26,000. That could be a legit bounce spot if we keep going. The 618 golden pocket has been respected quite a lot in the chart. If we do really jump hard, well, the 786 fib level is a respectable place to bounce. In fact, that'd be a very strong bounce if you give that much back. If it bounces, that would be 17,745. So looking around an $18,000 bounce spot, it could happen. Be ready, because looking at the this chart, it's the 45. This is a daily chart here. It's a 45-minute chart, and it's carrying over those gray lines that we put in there. And as you can see, looking at the 45-minute chart, definitely we have not held that that support and resistance that I did find there. In fact, I think we're actually, anyway, let me clear that up. That gets a little bit hard to look at. Go like this. Okay. If you look at a 45-minute chart, it's we really have not been able to hold above the 200 moving average in a 45-minute chart. Even though we are getting blue diamond merit badges, we're getting little breaks above the 200 and 314. They're just not holding out. You just can't quite keep that upwards momentum. Bitcoin's definitely on a downtrend right now, and we're below the 200 moving average in a 45-minute chart. So in general, I really don't get into anything or consider it very, positive, unless it's above the 200 moving average in a 45-minute chart. All the indicators here kind of are rather potty-ish looking, but the RSI, no action oscillator by Lazy Bear, are both showing oversold right now. So we could get a bit of a relief rally, maybe back up to the 200 moving average, but we'd have a hard time breaking that. So any rally that I see, I'd be surprised if it got above 36,000 today. Probably that would be about as far as it would go. Just kind of taking a guess looking at the chart. 4-hour chart, is kind of potty also. 4 hours below the 200 moving average, dump in. And I will say the 4-hour and the 45-minute chart do both agree, especially the 4-hour chart and the for the RSI, stochastic RSI, and the oscillator by Lazy Bear. They both are in agreement on both the 45 and the 4-hour that we may be oversold now. So if you're a crazy scalper, it's a possibility. This could be a place to look at hopping in. Let's look at the 45 again. Okay, yeah, those indicators are looking like it's about bounce time. Look at a 15-minute chart. We're getting any bounce action. 15-minute is not showing a real bounce starting yet either. So beware. This could go either way. Let's go back to the daily chart and let's look at the 3-day. Oh shit! Here we go. And here's one to look at too. Another thing to look at. Say the 3-day chart, we could not hold the 200 moving average on a 3-day chart. That's not very good at all. We're below all the important moving averages. Really, we could see a 3-day 314 moving average bounce if we keep dumping in that, and that would be right around. Oh, well, there you go. 28,900. So that'd be 29,000 also. So if we look at that that 618 fib level, which is right around 29,000 on the daily chart, and then of course on the 3-day chart, the 314 moving average is at about 29,000 too. So you could look at that sequence there, the fib sequence that I did earlier. And then also you could look at the 3-day chart or below the 200 moving average, but it's not unusual to get a 314 bounce. So maybe we'll get a bounce around 29,000. Like I say, that's kind of it, 28,000, 29,000. We really got to find our bounce there, find our mojo, or, watch out. I don't want to be a doomsayer, but some of the ultra bears out there, they could be right. Maybe we are going to visit 18K and make a bounce. It would be a logical place. It'd be given 75% back since a large fib sequence has started. A lot of time, it sticks to the chart very well. The fib and the chart are very sticky together. So let's just see what happens. I don't like to try too hard to guess at times like this, because really the market's going to do what it's going to do. There ain't no top and there ain't no bottom. There really isn't. And we'll see what happens. We are at 31,577 right now. Oh my, are we going to break 30,000 today? It's crazy. Well, anyway, guys, with that said, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, a piece of shit globalist cries who are causing so much trouble in the world right now. I'm glad you're part of the peaceful revolution. I'm glad you're here. Let's see what Bitcoin is going to do. Don't try too hard right now. This is an extremely hard market to play right now. I'm watching the 15-minute chart here, and I'm still not seeing any real upwards momentum. Gosh, woo, 31,566. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Like Misaki says, look out below because it might be coming. And of course, Jordan is predicting a $2 bounce. All sounds reasonable to me because anything's possible right now in the world. Take care.